C Sharp. It's a simple. It's a language like Java. Microsoft actually developed C Sharp to for a competition with Java. So all the feature they copy from a Java. So the basic idea was that C Sharp Java developer don't feel to come to the C Sharp. So they will have easy. Okay, you will install and then just click. And then we'll click File, New Project. Okay, there's a lot of options, what kind of project you want. So we will just go the simplest one. If you want to learn Hello World application, let's run that example. So C Sharp and Visual Studio, you can do these languages. Option it provide Visual Basic, Visual F, Visual C++, JavaScript, etc., Python, and these. So we are gonna in the start we should choose this application. Yeah, you can work on Xcode, but you will need Mac. That code is already created by Visual Studio. Console.write-ln, it just say write this string on a screen, and then console.write read key mean wait for a key press. Let's run it. Can you see the hello world string? And it's writing if I press the key, then it will exit. So that's how simple application, first application you created in a C Sharp. And the application does just write a simple on a screen. Okay, yeah, Mac, I think Mac export. Yeah, there is some utility editor in which you can write C Sharp program. Okay, this is some first program, and then let's move to the next. And these are the reason widely professional language is modern general purpose programming language, theory, Boolean this. Okay, this program we already run it. The .NET framework. The .NET framework is a revolutionary platform that helps you to write the following type of application: Windows application, and web application, and web services. Okay, you have idea what is client and what is server. Client is like your PC is the client, and server is the like Yahoo server where we go type something and goes there. It's a server. So server-side programming and client-side programming is the program which run on a server, which is not on like Yahoo or Google, etc. Those are server-side programming. And client-side, when program pages come to our site like JavaScript, etc., these are the client-side script. So, and web application is actually websites, or which goes to the client server concept using Windows application. Just you run it and install it. And these are also the theory. You can skip these. We will concentrate on this is the program we just run it. When this code is compiled, it will produce the following result: hello world. the first line of the program using the system, the using is just like we in Java use the import. So here we use this import this library, import this. So here we using here import equal to using, and these are the packages or libraries. So it's look like you can compare it with Java like this. This is called namespace. The next one is a namespace. Hello world. Namespace is a collection of classes. The hello world application names contain the hello world. These it can have many classes. The next line defines the main method, which is the entry point. Like in Java application, we have a main which has the entry point for the application. Same in the Java, we have a main method which will be the entry point. From this method, we will control the whole application. We will transfer the flow to call this function, and those functions will call other functions. So this is, if you want to put some comments, then starting point is this and ending point is this, just like a Java. Console.write key. This make the program wait for a key press, and it prevents the screen from running. C# is a case sensitive. All statement expression must end with semicolon like Java. Unlike Java, program file name could be different from the class name. So you it doesn't need to be same file name. Executing this you can skip. Okay. Let's run this. This is another example. You declare the class rectangle. It has these two property, and this is the method. And these values are assign some values. Get area, multiply, display, and these are the methods. So let's do this. Copy this here. Okay, here first the entry point is this. It's come here, it created the rectangle class object, and then it's called accept detail, which initialize length and width, and then displays get call, display its length is printed, width is printed, and then get area is called. Get area actually multiply these two, so 4 into 3 and 5. These are the multiplication value of these. So it's a simple how to use the classes. Now you can see this is the namespace. It has one class, and this is another class. And this class has main method, and this one has this. Also, if you see, the file name is program.cs, and the class is rectangle, and program, so it doesn't need to have the same class which is the file name. So this let me run by debugging. How? Okay. Okay, let's do this one by one. If you can run it with debugging. Start. If you put cursor here, then if you run it, then if control come here, it will stop. So I say this, it means breakpoint, and then press F10, next line, F11, go into that function, and then F10, next line. Now length is 0 and width is 0. It's just now values are assigned. Okay, now it go inside this function. It will print this value, this value. You can see here. Now let's see, area is printed. Now it will wait until I press the key. So it's a simple how to manage the classes, create objects in a C#. We created a class, rectangle, and simple two function and two properties, and then main method where it's entry point, and then rectangle. We created the object, and then accept detail display. So any question about this function, about this? And this is the using. The first statement in C program, the using keyword is used for including the namespace in a program. Program can include multiple uses using statement. Okay, identify. These are the reserved keywords which you cannot use for variable name. Okay, these are the types: bool, byte, character, decimal, float. Let me place the link here too. Pointer type. Pointer type variable stores the memory address of another type. Pointer is actually the physical address of the memory where variables are stored. So if you define this, then it will hold the physical address of the another variable. I think look like this. Okay, this program simple. Main method, control come, variable assign this, and then conversion. You can do conversion like this: double to integer, parenthesis, and then type, and then convert to Boolean. Provide the following built-in conversion. These are the built-in conversion. So these are the variable use. If you have any question, just let me know. I'm just going to fast forward. I mean, I'm just going through I think which is important. Variable initialization, same like Java. It's a simple this conversion. You can do conversion like this: convert dot to string to integer 32 floor, etc. You can do conversion like this too. Okay, floating point character. These are the escape sequence. Escape sequence, I think you already know. Hello, then slash t mean tab goes one tab and then print the word, and then slash n go to new line, and then again slash n go to new line. Okay, here enter radius, we enter the radius, and then it's convert to the double, assign it to r, and then pi is already defined, and radius multiply by radius and pi multiply, and then write line is just display, and then read line, and then wait for a next reading line. Here it's in a string, we can define print out like this radius, and this mean first variable, its value gonna be moved, and then this variable value going to be replaced here. Now you can see this. Now if I move this and I say 1 here and 0 here, now you can see this value is gone here and our values come here to the area. The next line is the values change. So index, this represent R will go to the 0 position and this will go to the 1 position. So it doesn't matter where it will matter this index value. And these are the same in Java, like arithmetic operation, rational operator, logical operator, bitwise assignment, miscellaneous operator. Should I explain these all, or it's okay? I mean, I'm going to skip important when I'm explaining it, so I can go to the Selenium part. If anyone has an issue, just let me know so I can spend more time on those points. I'm thinking in Java we have caught those points, so it's almost the same. I mean, we just need to read these. If you read these, you will get idea. Little bit difference. If statement, if else statement, nested statement, switch statement, nested switch statement, and these are the, again, if this is true, then execute this statement. Let's execute this statement. We also did this in Java and CodeLab too. While loop, for loop, do while loop, nested loop. This is a loop, infinite loop, because there's no condition, ending condition is defined. Same like in Java, public, private, protected, internal, protected, internal. Okay, how to define method in a class? Same, just like Java. Public, it's access type in the return type, or you can skip it, void in the function name, and then parameters. Parameter like first type, and then its name, same goes here, and then some functionality you can use it. It's same like Java. Now, if it's a class, we create an object and then dot, and then use that method name, and then we pass the parameter. We will cover also this in a Selenium part. Okay, recursive method is the method which call itself. I think we did in factorial etc. Assignment. There was a recursive method examples too in Java. Same concepts goes here, applies here. Factorial of this. Same example. You pass the number and then it's calculate. If number is 1, then return 1, else factorial number minus 1 multiply by number and then return result. So it will here it keep calling itself and put the current value in a stack, and when it's finished then it start pulling the values from the stack. Value parameter and reference parameter, just like a Java. If you pass by value, it means in the function, if you change that the value of that variable, it will not affect in a parent function that variable values. And if you pass by reference, then if you change that variable value, then it will affect the in a parent in the calling function, that variable value too will be updated. Okay, if you want assign integer numeric null value, then you put the question mark with that, like integer question mark, so num1 can have a null value. Let's run this example. Okay, num1 is null, num2 get value, num3 is not defined. So num3, let's see what's gonna happen here. Null, it has some value, num3 is 0, num3 is 0, num1 is null. If it's null, then num3 should be 5.34. So if it's null, then assign this value to num3. Double question mark. Actually, if it's value null, then do this. Now let's see what happens if I say 1. So if it's null, then it will assign 5.34, else it will assign the num1 value to the num3. So it's actually check the null value of the variable. True, then do this, else assign this. array to declare the array data type, and then this brackets and names. For example, double this balance is same like Java. I'm declaring balance array of type double and initializing it is size 10 and assigning the first element this value, and I can assign create like this initialization of array. These are the methods you can do like this. Here n is the integer array with the size of 10. Now first loop it initialize it 100 plus I. So first element will have 100, then 101, 101, 102, 103 like this, and then we pull the value from the array. So let's run this example. Now first it initialize the array to the 10 size, then first loop fill the array with 100, 101, 102 till 9, and then the second loop actually doing the print on screen element, and this is the same. I mean, j value will be moved here. So first time j is going to be 0, then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 9 till 9, and n is actually the array, and we are passing the index j. So at 0, what the value it is, it will print, and then 1, 2, 3. So element 0 is 100, element 1, 101, 102, 103. So that's the array example. For each loop is like this. For each, the type variable in which variable we are gonna use it for loop. One 5 minute it's a Izran time, so let's take a 5-minute break. Now you can see the an array has on 0 index it has 101, at index 1 it has 101, and at index 2 103, and so on. At index 9 it has 109 elements. Okay, so j, what is going to be j? So it get the element. If you see at index 0 100, so j has 100 value now, and 100 minus 100 0, so I is going to be 0. Then it will say I element 0. Okay, and then j is actually the value 100. Okay, so j is 100, I is 0. Now j is 101 and I is 1. So it's actually pulling the values 100, 102, 101, 2, 3, 4 like this, and we also need the index. So index is actually calculated by minus 100. We know we start from 100. So if we from the first element value, if we minus the 100, then we will get the 0 index. So this is the, any question about this example? Okay, they have that's the output. First name, last name, then do this. It's simple. First name, I mean there's nothing much. Okay. Anyone, any question? Okay, here's the array. S array, type of string, and these are the values. And this is the message. String dot join. So what it will do, it will combine these with the space, and then we will print this. Let's see what's the output. Message hello from tutorial points. So if I put here like this, now you can see, just replace it with these. So string dot join actually combine the array with that string. The first parameter, whatever you put it, and then those value will be combined with these. Let me check. Okay, can you share the screen? If you have downloaded it, I will go walk through it. Installation. It's simple. You have to press next, next, next. Default setting. Just choose default settings. Okay. Okay, I'm trying my own virtual machine. If it's If anyone has an issue with C# related, then you can let me know on a chat anytime. So whenever I have free get time, I will just try to help you. I can manage C# and JavaScript. So you will get this option. If you want customize or default, so just go for default. Set it up to 8 GB, so you need that much space, and then it will start. Okay, maybe I'm not sure I already installed it on virtual machine or not. I think I have not installed it. Just maybe depend on Windows version, etc. It's Windows 7. So it will take, I think, 15 minutes or 20-30 minutes, the installation process. So I will just keep checking it. I think they are the same. Okay, I have no idea. Look, I think same. If it's not, then I have no clue. But I know C#. If I go to new project, no, actually Visual C# is a C#. If you see how many language you get, there's no simple C# project. It's Visual C# or Visual C++. So C# is just reference. People are reference, I think, Visual C#. Else the template should have option for just C# too. Find some more detail. I mean, there's C#. Then just let me know, so I can update my knowledge. I think people write C# instead of writing Visual C#. I mean, I'm doing this, creating this project, but I always say C#, not Visual C#. Okay. Oops. Okay, let's keep going. Okay, so we were here, string.join. Okay, these are the string method. Like we use this method, string.join. So it has more property, provide compare, this copy to, it has a lot of method. Just like in Java, string object has a lot of method. Same here in C#. Start with to lower upper trim. etc. Comparison, and these are the example. Okay, structure. What is structure in C Sharp? Structure is a value type data type. Tell you to make a single variable hold related data of various data type like address, book, etc. In this case, book. Book has title, author, subject. So this variable combine these two property. So you can, and the same goes for address, like postal box, postal code, street name, country, etc. So you can define structure like this, and then book one you can assign the, yeah, it just these. Now structure can have method, field, index, property, operator, method, etc. Can have defined constructor but not destructor. Enumeration is a set of name integer constant. So if you want integer constant, etc., then you can use this type. It's a reserved word and then the name and then the list, like this. It's also we use in Java too. Let's run this example. Oh, oh. So Monday is 1, Friday is 5. Let's try some changes. You can see it's just indexing 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So if you convert into get the integer value of it, then just use this convert into integer. And defining a class, same, we already use it. Private, it will not be accessible, and then you can use it set and get a method in Java like. So set and get. Constructors when it's just the same concept in Java. When you are initializing it, creating it, then you pass the parameter, or without parameter it will be, that function will be get called like line. So here when you're creating line, so at this time it will be called this function. Okay, yeah, parameter wise you can do multiple constructor, but the parameter should be different type or different numbers. I mean 1, 2, 3, etc. Same rules, almost like a Java. Destructor. A destructor is a special member function of class that is executed when an object of its class goes out of scope. When you destroy the class object, close it, etc., then destructors get called. And the only difference is you put this before its name. In this case, let's see here. This is a constructor and this is a destructor. Okay. So now I press F10, constructor get called. Okay, line is 7. Now the program finish executing is getting destroyed, so that function is get called at the end. So destructor, static, same concept like Java, where you don't need to create a object to access that value. You can access that value without creating an object. Here we are creating S1 S2 object of static variable. Static will keep its value maintained throughout the different sessions. So, like we have the issue with the yeah, that's correct. Let me inheritance. Inheritance is done like this: rectangle, depend on derive shape. Concept is same like Java. C# also doesn't support multiple inheritance, or you can use the interface to implement multiple inheritance. Okay, I think should I go more or it's enough for today? Still installing. Should I explain the Selenium now, or should I go explain more C Sharp? I think we just need more practice on a start feature, like how to do simple program, variable, for loop, etc., function creating classing objects, and then we can go in more depth. If you good. Okay. Also, if someone interested in the .NET, etc., let me know. I can help them. I can help anyone if someone want. Okay. So unit testing, you need to know how to do unit testing. New project, and then just need select test, not Windows, not web, cloud, etc., and then unit test project, and then just create it. I have already created one. Okay. These are just like import system, this using statement, we import it. And plus one more thing, for tools, you have to go here and then here.
Hey, Izran.
Yes.
So, I saw that for unit testing, you can just, is it already built in? I mean, is like the testing like framework
Okay.
built in, like Selenium and Maven and all that we have to install
No,
separately
no, no,
for
no.
Java?
It's not like Maven. It's just a unit test if you want to do testing project. So I just created test, then it give me these option. It will create a unit test project one, whatever the project name is, and then it will create one class for me, and it will by default create one method in it, and then I have to write the coding.
So what would you have to do if you wanted to use Selenium with C Sharp instead of Java? Do you still have to? I mean, is there like an analogous program to Maven in C Sharp
Yeah, I
and
think
like
so.
that Selenium is obviously like the same package, but like what do you have to do to get it to work on C Sharp?
C Sharp is actually basically create executable file, installation, etc. And for Maven, I think it can be managed, but there's some setting changes, etc. It need compiler, etc. .NET compiler, etc. So Maven is actually manage the dependency, and then if on a server you run it, then server it manage it, download it and manage it. But it required local installation, like it has a .NET .exe path, etc. So you have to define those. I have not done those things yet, so I'm not that much clear how it's going to manage, like Maven we manage Java projects. we just give the, yeah, I'm not 100% sure how it's managed like Maven, but I know how to manage the test cases, etc. Like without Maven. So simply if you create a test project, unit project, it will create this project for you, and it will add some basic libraries for it for you. And if you want Selenium, etc., then you will have to go to tool here, manage, and then we'll type Selenium, and then we'll click browse, and then will you add these manually. So which I already done, like if you see already installed. So first it will create test class. If it sees the test class, then it will know this is the test class when you want to run it. Then it will go inside the test and will try to check the methods, which is a test method. If it is the test method, then it will run. It will try to run those that method. Let's suppose. Okay, I removed all test methods, and now I say run tests. You can see finish, zero found. Okay, now if I remove this and just add this, let's see what happened. Nothing happened. I hope this time it will run. Okay, so that's clear. Okay, page factory. I hope everybody is known of page factory. So now iWebDriver is just like we create WebDriver in Java, and this is the variable name. First time is assigned null, and this is same like we go in Java. Okay, here find by how which web element. So in C sharp equivalent is this profile button get our set property, so it can get and set and get by ID, get by XPath. So, okay, it's the login page constructor. In constructor, what we do, we pass it WebDriver. Okay, in that WebDriver, we set it in the page factory dot initiate elements, and we pass the driver and this object. So it will be get initialized these all elements. Yes, any question?
Yeah. Can you show where I need to go to install the Selenium, like all one more time, like the Selenium WebDriver and like the Selenium
Okay.
API?
You go here.
NuGet?
Yeah, in tools.
Okay. And then you just go into
And this
what
package
package? Oh,
solution.
package for force. And then just look it up there.
And then browse, click on browse. And
Okay.
then
So we
type,
need Selenium API,
yeah,
and then
WebDriver.
Selenium, and then WebDriver.
Yeah, and support.
Okay. Just
And
so
the,
so. Okay. Awesome. Thank you.
no problem. If any issue, just let me know. I will try to manage it with TeamViewer. I was not able to do it in the first time. I mean, I tried different attempts. Finally, I get make it work. So page factory, initiate element, and then you pass the driver, and then this actually mean this object. Like C sharp, you also use this. So it will these all element will be initialized using that driver. So that driver will have that information and it will be initialized. And then just log in. It will get username and password. Then send button. Click even get file, and then just delay a little bit. Then send keys. Same, and you pass the text, and then click the button, and then a little bit delay. Then click the password. Then a little bit delay, and then click again. So let's 1 minute. Okay, and if you want to run, just click right click, run test or debug test. It will not work from here.
Hey,
Is
Izran.
yeah,
I don't have when I go into tools and then um, like a new get package manager. I don't
yeah.
have that that you have. I don't have packages for solution. How do I get that? Like that middle
Okay,
one. I only have the first one and the third one, but not the middle one.
okay.
Sorry
Did
to interrupt, but
if you update it, it's updated.
yeah, I'm pretty sure. You think I need to update it? That's the problem. If I update it, it should be
Yeah,
there.
it has different service pack update. Service update 1, 2, 3 like that.
Okay,
If
let me
check
try
if
that.
check if give you option to update it or not.
Okay, let me try that. Okay, thank you.
Okay, no problem. Okay, so I will come here. If I try to run, if you want to try to run, then just run where test method are exist. If I try here, it will do nothing. No test found to run. So you have to go in the test case where method exists, test method and class. Then I run it with debug option. Okay, now let's see. Now we are here. Now you can see text is type. Now next step. Now password is type. Get login. Okay, and now close. Browser is closed. So login test is clear. Any question? Okay. So these are option will be you're gonna need it. These two you have to edit manually by copy paste from here or just browse it. Yeah, and this need to be edited before the class, and whatever method you want to use as a test, then it should have this before. So we comment this. Okay, so login is clear. Any question about the login? Should I go to page factory? Let me explain it again. Okay, what is done? What it do? Get driver. We just create a driver. How to create the driver? Go to here. Okay, new Chrome. Same like Java. We manage it. Here I'm just hard coded for Chrome. I'm not using any other option. Like in Java, we have a lot of other options. And then set the time for 10 seconds to wait it, and then URL. From setting it, get the URL, which I set it. So it's simple. That's 3 line will create a driver and return it. And it's a static method, so you don't have to create this class. Just write the name and dot this method, and it will return the driver. So once I get the driver, then I pass it to the constructor. Here, okay, driver come here. I set the local variable to the driver, and then pass this local driver to this page factory, and plus the object. This actually will pass the whole object and the driver. So those are all element will be initialized. You will just scan it and get the elements. So this is how the elements are initialized in a constructor. So now if I call the login page, then these elements will be initialized and I can use it. So that's the login page factory code. Simple. Your define driver, and then in constructor you initialize it, set it, and then call the page factory dot initiate method, pass the driver, and then this element. So that's the Yahoo login process. Any question about this? Okay, I will go to the next step. Okay, next step is how to log in and then send the email in a Yahoo account. So I will go to the compose. Okay, one more thing. Let me explain the DB related part too. Okay, we have different databases. We have MySQL, MongoDB, Excel, and MS SQL. So the first query by default is going to use MS SQL connection string. This is a SQL connection object which it provides. Yeah, Oracle too, but I have not installed Oracle or PostgreSQL. There are 3-4 more databases too. So this is for my MS SQL, Microsoft SQL. It provides this object, and we will just pass the connection string and then call its open method, so the connection will be open. Now we have to run some commands on it. Like in this case, we're gonna pass some select query to run on it and return the SQL data reader. SQL data reader is just like a record set. If it's 10 rows, then it will have those 10 records, etc. So you have to just skip it and use it, but I just explaining it. SQL connection is a built-in function object, and we create it and we pass the connection string to it, and it will open method will call, so connection is established. Now to execute the query against that connection, we need SQL command object. So we create new and pass it the query which we want to execute it in the connection. So it will execute that query against this connection. And here we telling him that much time you should wait. If it take more than that time, then just throw the error. And then cm.execute reader. Now we call this method, and we pass this parameter. So when it's done, then close the connection. It's me, and it's only that. So you just need these 4 lines, and this is the error case. So this is called for MS SQL. Now we will come to MS. Yeah, it's also MS SQL. This is execute. Execute is another query where we want to do update, insert, etc. In this query, we don't need return type, so it will just return how many record affected, integer. And in this query, we are returning SQL data reader. So the only difference is that. And this is the when you want to try to one value from it, so you can skip this one. Okay, in this project we are using only this query method and query MySQL. So it will this method will manage query against MySQL. Here we are creating connection object for MySQL. So this is how the object that will get created. For this, I have to add these two DLL to manage MySQL. You can manage it through different methods, but I manage it with these. So I get connection, configuration, API app settings. This configuration setting, I get the connection string from there and assign it, and then open just like MS SQL. And then same command here in this case is MySQL. Here I pass it the text query and then connections object, and not the procedure. It has different type of options. You can tell him it's a store procedure or table direct or text. Or text means SQL query. So we are passing it SQL query. So text and then execute reader. So it will return my SQL data reader. In this case, it was SQL data reader, and this is my SQL data reader. So that's how we manage with the MySQL connection. So MySQL is done, and yeah, MySQL is done, and MS SQL is done. Fine. Let's test. Okay, first explain let me explain the structure, how it's work. There's a folder in which we will have different models. Models mean objects, like email. When we want to send email, it has mostly three texts: to whom, to email, subject, body. So we created one class for that, and it's simple. You can create like this: public, it is a property, string type, name, and then parentheses. It can be set or get. It can be set or get. Same subject, public, string, subject. It can be get or set. Public string, body. It can be get or set. Actually, I work for in a C sharp for some. Mostly, I work in JavaScript and C sharp for uh, for Pakistan company. I mean friends. I get some work randomly, so I try to. Mostly, I work in yeah, JavaScript using Ajax, etc. But I didn't get any job here, so my friends give me some work from Pakistan, and that's how I manage. So Bilal friend Kamran told is my I meet him, then he told me go to testing, you will get a job. That's how I started, and that's how I know Bilal. No problem. So that's the email object model created. And that's for MongoDB. I created another class for MongoDB. Actually, I create create class for MongoDB due to extra property, and the variable name was changed. Okay, so I created two classes in the model. So and it has different methods. So normally when you try to manage it, you just place the classes in a model, and then the repository, create a repository folder, and then create repository object where it will have methods function which will operate on this email, which will using this class. Like in this case, email, it's using repository. So here I created that email repository. It has method. First method is get. Okay, what it's gonna return? It will return list of email, and get will get one integer variable value. It was default value 0. So if it's 0, it means it will go to this case. If it's 0, then load from Excel sheet. If it's 1, then load from MySQL. If it's 2, then load from MongoDB. If it's 3, then load from Microsoft SQL. Okay, let's go to my Microsoft SQL. Here, I create a variable O email list. O mean object, email list object, and it will the list of email. Okay, it's created. Now connect db.query. I'm passing the query, SQL query. Select direct from this table, Yahoo emails. So it will get the data from it, and then it's check if it has rows. It means it has a data. Okay, if it's true, then go to next line. While reader.read, if it's true, then read actually start reading, pull one record from it. Now create this email object O, okay, and then read the values. This is a standard equation. I mean to get the value from the reader. If it's not null, then do this, else assign nothing, empty. Same goes for A. So it will get this value, subject, email. Okay. Now it's a list object. .add method allow, it's just like a Java where we add in a list element. So add, it's allow email. We add a email. So it will go until it finish. When it finish, then it will come here. It will close this reader and then we'll return this object. Now let's go to MySQL. Same. We create a list. The whole idea was this process is that it can manage any database. So all we have to do, pass a different, like in get method we pass different value. If you want to switch to Excel, we just pass 0. If you want to switch to MySQL, we just pass 1. If we want to switch to MongoDB, we pass 2. If you want to switch MS SQL, we pass 3. So MySQL is just like connect query MySQL, selects from emails and table name, and these are the field. Same concept, just like this. So it will return this object. Okay, list of emails, which will have property to email subject body. Now let's go to the Excel sheet. For Excel sheet, you can manage it like this. It's another connection object, which we will use for to communicate, establish connection with Excel. So connection, okay, fine, OLEDB connection, and just pass the connection string. Okay, we pass the connection string and then open it. Okay, open is done. Then from which sheet you wanna open it. Excel sheet has different type of sheet, so it will connection is actually a physical path for that Excel sheet, and this is the sheet name, which sheet you want to read. Now I'm using hard-coded one, but we can modify it by parameter. Okay, so let's run this. Okay, that another object we pass this command to it, so it will fill this connection. It will get data here. Now in C# we have data reader, data set, or tables. So here in this case we're gonna fill data set with that table with that data. So the step is like this: you will create command object, OLEDB command, then data adapter, and then data set. And once when you create data adapter, you pass the command object for it. When it get, then you call it fill method, and tell this object to fill that data set for you. So that data set will be get filled. Now once it fill, we will check if tables count is greater than or equal to 1, it means it fills some data. Else it failed, there was nothing, so it will be 0. So in this case, if it's greater than 1 or 1. Any question?
আপনি এখানে রেসিডেন্ট হতে পারবেন না। রেসিডেন্ট হলে ইউ ক্যান চেঞ্জ ইউর নাম্বার প্লেট, এটা হলো শর্ত। এখন সামহাউ যদি এটা কোনো জায়গায় আপনি ঝামেলা হয়, আপনি এখানে রিসাইড করতেছেন কিন্তু নাম্বার প্লেট কন্টিনিউয়াস পেনসিলভেনিয়া, তাহলে এটা মানে সামটাইমস ইট ম্যাটার্স। বুঝছেন? এই ধরনের একটা ওই যে
ওয়েট করেন ওয়েট সেকেন্ড, ও এটা কি করতেছে? ও তো দেখি ভিজুয়াল স্টুডিওতে টেস্ট কেস লিখতেছে। Shit. আচ্ছা ভিজুয়াল স্টুডিওতে করতেছে।
আমি মানে আমি আপনার ফোন করছি যে রাগটা করার জন্য কারণ আমার মাথাটা পুরো খাচ্চর করতেছে তারপর পরশু দিন হলো সাবমিশন
হ্যাঁ
যতটুকু বলা হয় শিখছে না ওইটা বলে
ওইগুলো
Okay, now it's better. Okay, if anyone has a question, just type in the chat. Okay, so we were here. Then for each loop, data reader is actually get rows from that tables. So there's going to be always one table. I'm gonna run it queries for Excel sheet. So 0 is for each loop. We did this in an example. And then reader dot field name, subject, body, and assign it and fill it. So that's how Excel is done. Now let's go to MongoDB. Same concept, email list. We create Mongo client and we pass the connection of string like URL, and then we tell which database. Okay, so this is the database. Now collection is actually in MongoDB, collection means the table. So I telling db.collection name, and then parse which type of the collection is send email MongoDB. Okay, so it will fill like this object for me, and then collection get filled. Now I have to get converted into a list. So how to convert into a list? The method is you have to create simple filter empty object like this, and then pass it to collection.find, and that pass it to the that filter dot to list. So you will get the list, and then just for each loop from this list you will have like this, and fill this object and return it. Let's one by one run it. Okay. Okay, press F11. Now it's going to now press F11. Null. Okay. Count 0. Okay. Now count 1. Body this. This. Now count is 2. So it has 2 data. Now I get, you can see it has those data. So it's for my SQL is run like this. Okay, this is tested. F11. Okay, MongoDB. Okay, it. So no ideas. Now you can see list got the data. Now one item. So it will break and return this. Okay. Now Excel sheet. Okay. Table is greater than 1, greater than or equal to 1. Null null. So this is also done. MySQL. Okay, that was the simple test. Now let's one by one the whole method. How to manage the send. It will get the driver, same Chrome driver created, time is set and URL is set, and then driver is written. Okay, first to send the email you have to first log in. So login class is created, driver is pass, and username and password is pass. So login is done. Now after login, compose page is created, driver is pass, and in home page is call. Home page mean if you click on go to the inbox. After that, we need to get the data, the email which we need to send. So this will have email, number of email in which will have to send, subject and body. Then the next for each loop in this object, one by one it will get the method, that object, email object. It has a send email method which accept email object, which will have property to send to email, subject and send, and then it will close. So let's go to this method. Okay, it's a simple same concept. Compose page, driver is defined, and these are the variable which is going to use it to from, and this element will be initialized. And compose constructor which will pass the web driver, and web driver will be set, and then page factory dot initiate element method is called, and this driver is passed and this object is passed. driver and object is pass. This means these all elements will be initialized. So now when send email is click, it will come here, compose click, okay, then delay, then to send keys, subject, body, send email link will be click, and then send list link will be click. And this is the home page, profile button click. So let's run, it's gonna work or not. Remove all breakpoints. Okay, now we'll check MongoDB. Oops. And now you can see that text is coming from MongoDB. Okay, MongoDB is done. Now the text is coming from MySQL. Okay. Now the data is coming from Excel. So unit testing or covered in C# and plus MongoDB, MySQL, MS SQL, and Excel is covered. Any question about this or page factory? I can explain anything again if someone needs explanation.
Hey, Izran.
Yes.
So can you explain Page Factory? Like, I know that somebody else had a question about that as well. But really, like, I'm still like building the framework, and so just in your own words and like your own explanation, like what does Page Factory do?
Page factory actually simple initialize the element for you.
That's it. It initializes an element for you.
Yeah, these method uh, these methods these are managed by Page Factory. You don't have to call and set variable and assign these.
So you assign like these methods ahead of time, right?
Actually, when you create the that object, so you set this driver, and then Page Factory dot initiate element. It actually these elements are initialized. Normally,
Oh.
you're gonna do initialize it by driver dot find element by find element then by dot id and then pass that string. So you have to do these all the time.
Oh, okay. So basically, you just do find by like as many different XPaths as you need, and then after you do all the find bys, you just call the pagefactory.init elements. You call that init elements method, and they're all initialized, so you can
Yeah,
use them in
yeah,
your code however.
yeah, like
Is that
I'm,
correct?
yeah, like here is a element. I'm not just using it. It's initialized already due to this,
Okay. Yeah.
due to this line.
And can you do find by? Do they have to be all on the same web page, or can they be on different web pages, or it doesn't matter?
No, when you pass the driver, then that driver which has the current page, if it's inbox or whatever, so it will try to find those elements on that page.
Oh, okay. I see. I see. Okay. Cool.
Okay, so it's the same concept like Java. The only thing is different. I mean, just syntax little bit different. Concept is same. So it's clear now. I mean, this page factory.
Yeah, it actually is clear. Because I'm working on my framework right now. I'm a little bit behind where you are,
Mhm.
and I just didn't really get a chance to understand page factory, but I think it's clear now. So you just yeah, it is clear, and it really is clear. So thank you.
No problem. You're welcome.
I have yet to actually implement it in my code, but that will come tomorrow.
Okay, the only issue is, I mean, just you implement one framework and then just try to implement those framework on the other languages. When you're trying to implement those another language, then you start learning that language. Okay, I need to learn this, how to manage in C sharp. Then you will start Googling it and you will get to know you need this object and this object, etc. Like, I didn't know about those MongoDB, etc. for in how to manage in C sharp. So for mentoring, I did learn it. I mean, mentoring, it it helped you a lot. Normally, I was busy in other stuff.
How is MongoDB similar? I mean, I'm honestly not very familiar. I haven't used MongoDB yet. Can you is
I
it similar to MySQL?
No, it's not like SQL, etc. You have
Okay,
to.
yeah, it's not. I'm reading about it. And how is it different? What's different about it?
I mean, its storage is different. It's entirely different, and internally they manage it. And plus, it's using document to store the data. So you will create database like this, and then you will create collection. In a collection, you will create this like email send. So email send. If you want to view document, then it will have this document, and then it can have multiple values. I don't know entirely. I just learn it. But it's easy. All you have to do is to learn how to insert, update, and retrieve the data. So if someone say use the MongoDB, fine, start using MongoDB. If they say use MySQL, fine, start using. It's just you have to find the queries. What's the difference between different queries? MongoDB is entirely different. I mean, how to get the elements and parse it. But mostly you need to manage few test demos so you can have a confidence in interview. When you're done, then you will have easy to manage the questions. If you have not done like C sharp, if you have not touched it, and he says, and you write in a resume C sharp, and if he says, fine, you can do it in C sharp, then it will be, I mean, I will not feel confidence if I have not done anything. I can lie, but that much lie I can't do it. So it's just to get us some confidence for interviews. I'm doing this. So first I didn't know the framework. First I learned the framework in Java. Once I learned the framework, then I start converting to C Sharp, which almost done. I mean, page factory created and this all stuff is done.
So you are converting your Java code and your Java framework into C Sharp, just so that way you are able to do it in both languages.
Yeah, I mean, I learn if someone say do a framework, so I have an idea to create a page factory, model it, etc., and plus how to manage different databases. And XPath, we already know how to create XPath by CSS or by ID, etc. So it's pretty much easy. Oracle is miss. I gonna do Oracle too. So all major DBs are covered. If you have any issue with C Sharp, then fine. You can ask. Just let me know. Whenever I get a time, I will just reply it and I will try to help you. In C Sharp, I can try C Sharp and JavaScript. On HTML coding, I can help, but I'm not good in designing, etc. So JavaScript and C Sharp, I can help a lot if anyone need help. So
yeah, I mean, like this was actually very useful, very interesting because the first time I saw C Sharp in action, and it really is very similar to Java. But if you feel like you've like shown a lot, I feel like we've covered a lot. Maybe we could finish up a little bit early. It's up to you, but I feel like this was a productive session as it is. So it's up to you.
yeah, you wanna more some stuff or one more thing? Let me show you. You know the Python name, correct?
Do I know Python?
Yeah, you. I mean by name. Did you hear the name Python?
Yeah, I know like Python. I mean, I'm not familiar. I'm not good at like programming Python,
Okay,
but
that's
yeah.
the Python code. How to log in Yahoo. Let's run it and see if it's gonna work or not.
Oh, wow, you have it running on Python as well. That's awesome. That's really cool.
Yeah, I was gonna work on Python now. I was just finished with C Sharp. So next objective is to get C Sharp Python covered. Python is it don't have that much. I mean I don't know much about Python.
The code for Python looks so much smaller, like more dense. Like there's like not very much code. It's like doing.
Actually, it's the same code which we use in Java and C Sharp.
Wow, so you're running Python as well. Awesome.
Yeah, but the problem is that we divided it in more layers, like page factory, etc. And here it's just doing this. If you go to the login page, you see login is that's the whole things, and these are the variable initializing. So the code is same Python or you just go URL, create it, and then just click on button, and then user name, type it, send keys, then return, and then find elements and next button click, then little bit delay, and then login password. Okay, my password is gone. Okay, so it's simple. So that's the whole thing. So Python is also simple. I mean, I'm gonna work on Python. Once I learn it, then I can take one session for Python too. So yeah.
Yeah, your Python code is like in a it's in a text
Yeah, it's a
notepad for
text
some reason.
file. Yeah, it's a text
What?
file.
You can do Python code in IntelliJ, I think.
Yeah, you can do it any editor.
Yeah, or like any like not any. I mean, in any editor that supports Python. Why do you have it in Notepad?
No, it's not Notepad. It's the when I install the Python, it comes with the editor for Python.
Oh, okay. It looks like Notepad. Sorry.
Yeah, no, yeah, but you can use it any editor. Like Visual Studio also support Python. So when I install the Python, then it come with this package. So I start using it. It was just typing a few lines. So the next objective is to convert this. Send. I mean, code conversion is easy, but making a framework in Python, that's the hardest part. I don't know how to create a framework there. I mean, patch factory, etc., initialization, different file, how to divide folders, etc. Structure, creating structure for the project in Python. So I'm gonna do cover it, hopefully within next month, or next week or 2 weeks, I will cover Python too. So any question about C#? I can explain this. Here you create simply webdriver.com, driver get created, implicit city wait, just wait, and get URL set, find element by path, find element by ID, send keys, simple. I mean, there's nothing in Python. So I have 30 minutes. If someone want to repeat me something, I can do it. An Excel sheet is here in data folder. Any question? Should I explain anything? I think I finished, so